Hello there folks, I am RJB from RJBTV, and this is going to be another one of those games between, hopefully, see if I can find where it is. I should have selected this already, but there it is, I found it. I found the game. This is going to be a Brain against Leebokgu game. As you can see there in the front, in the video title, I forgot I put that there, but this is going to be Brain against Leebokgu, so let's jump right on into the action and enjoy ourselves a little bit of action between this action-packed duo in this action-packed game, on this action-packed map, on this action-packed evening. So, last time I made a video, I said that I would, resume making new videos, and then for almost an entire week I made no videos. Well, that is actually because I did make a video, but the recording was completely ruined, because for some reason, when I put my phone a little bit too close to my microphone, the microphone picks up the signals that my actual phone sends out, and it creates this ticking sound in the background. And the entire recording had this annoying ticking sound in the background. Very annoying. Completely ruined the video. But I'm back. I have time, and I'm back. Brain here on the 6 o'clock Terran, yellow Terran, and Leebokgu on my next solution here on the teal Protoss. I've been wondering for a while now, should I start calling Leebokgu next solution, or just stay with Leebokgu? Because he's been using next solution for like the last 2 years now, and he's almost not used the name Leebokgu at all. At this point I'm kind of wondering, has he changed his identity, so to speak? Or should I just keep on calling him Leebokgu for the sake of clarity? Also, this guy is known as Hearted on StarCraft World. Hearted. This guy is Hearted. So yeah, he just uses a different name on every single server. Which is not confusing at all, I mean, look at Brain. Brain uses different names every single time, although this name, we have seen this a couple times. A barcode with the letter 2 or 7 at the end, number 2 or 7 at the end. But that aside, he started off with a barracks into a supply depot into a barracks and gets another supply depot there. He's going to stay on double barracks for now to get his very fast second command center. He gets a double barracks very early on so he can maybe rush his opponent when his opponent is trying to go for a choke without gateways. But we actually have a little bit of a different opening here from Leebokgu, going for... Wait, did he go for gateway, nexus, gateway, gateway, or did he go for nexus, gateway, gateway, gateway? I didn't pay attention well enough, but this is not something we usually see here. He's going for a forge very early, not a cyber core, going for a forge first, and go for a single gas. He's going to, start with some zealot production to put pressure onto his opponent and try to get maybe a little bit of advantage going here, but it's difficult to get an advantage against a double or triple barracks opening where the Terran builds the barracks on 8 supply instead of 9 supply. It's just a stronger build order, and because he only went for a double barracks, he didn't have to stop producing Marines to afford that command center. When you go for triple barracks, you have to stop producing Marines in order to afford the command center, but when you're on double barracks, you don't. You can keep making Marines and get the second command center. But the downside of a double barracks is that you are exposed to rushes much more than on a triple barracks. On a triple barracks, it's easier to defend, but on a double barracks, you might just lose the game. But in this game specifically, I do think that Leebokgu went for a Nexus triple gateway, which means the Zealots are very much delayed. So there's no real offensive power at the moment for Leebokgu. And he killed the Marine there, back at home. Zealot there goes in, tries to sneak on in, but can't quite get in. A couple more Zealots are on the way. Brains has another SCV to try and get more information to see exactly what Leebokgu is doing. He's getting a cyber core now, still no cannons in the back, getting a second gas. He will be able to afford a Citadel or a Robo. It's a Citadel of a Dune. Now, if Brain finds out it's a Citadel of a Dune, by a second, he tries to go in. He's going to try to kill a couple of those Marines. He sees it as a Citadel of a Dune. Walks in all the way. Now, there are 2 options really here for Leebokgu. So he gets into the base, he killed some Marines, but largely just lost his cells without really killing a significant number of Marines. He's got cannons coming up in the front. He's switching over to a defensive build order. because the window to be aggressive against Brain has kind of closed. I would say the window was never there, but he did try to be aggressive, but Brain, you know, Brain just wasn't in a really good position to just defend himself against it properly. So we have a Templar's Archive on the way, and at this point you would say, is he gonna go for Dark Templars? He could go for Dark Templars, or he could go for Zealot Speed, level 1 attack, and Storm Upgrade. I think that is another option. I really just don't know. I really just don't know. We have a Stargate on the way. We do not have a Robo, so he's gonna go for very, very, very much delayed drops. Level 1 attack not on the way. It's kind of worrisome. Getting a third gas there, some 36 probes. He pulled back to his choke point, cancelled one of his cannons to save some minerals. He noticed that by having his Zealots on the mill, and because Brain was not moving out, he realized Brain is not gonna attack me just yet. So he cancelled the cannon there back at home, and he's going for Dark Templars. Not going for High Templars is gonna be Dark Templars. And I think High Templars would have been a great choice as well, because I've noticed that Brain in like the last 10 games that I cast of him where he's Terran, he doesn't really invest that many minerals into getting bunkers in the front. It's usually a very minimalistic choke point with 1 bunker, maybe 2 bunkers and a turret and maybe a wall. Sometimes he doesn't even get a wall, but this time he got a wall, and he got the wall exactly because he saw the citadel of a dune before Robo. He knows that Leebokgu will try to break through that front door. That's why he's now investing more into the wall. We do have a scan there in the back. The scan has not yet been used, 120 energy. He lifted up all of his barracks very early on, so this attack from Leebokgu could actually do some damage. It looks like Brain is expecting shuttles. He's expecting shuttles. He's expecting for Leebokgu to have given up on this very straightforward mass frontal attack. Like Templars there though, one of them goes down. Bunker doesn't really take much damage. Zealots can't really go in because we have firebats, no firebats in the bunker. You could actually just try and go for it. But here's the thing. We know that Brain does not have a lot of defense. We know that Leebokgu does not. Leebokgu has no information. Leebokgu does not know that Brain lifted up all of his barracks and put them on the sides, which means his marine production has been very, very low for quite some time now. He could, if he wanted to, maybe kill one of the supply depots and get the Dark Templars in there. But he doesn't know. What do we know? So Leebokgu's decision, from our perspective, you know, maybe doesn't make sense because we have information he doesn't. But from his perspective, this makes a lot of sense. He was fully expecting Brain to have invested a lot more into that choke point, to have a lot more units all around his base. Drop comes in, drop kills nothing. A little bit of luck there for Leebokgu. Tried to tank the cannon shots with the raid and unload some of his firebats to try and kill some of those probes. Sadly, killed nothing because we had way too many cannons. Leebokgu has seen this trick attempted on him way too many times for it to work. So we have 5 assimilators. He's really ramping up the gas production. He's got very fast Arbiter Tribunal. He's now in 8 gateways and getting number 9. Oh wait, that's 4 robos in the front. So he is switching back into robos. After all, I mean, he has to get robos at some point. You gotta go for drops. You can usually not win these games without drops. And Brain, of course, scans the front, sees the drops, knows what's coming, which means he can now start focusing on defending himself more than before, because this was really not that much. If only Leebokgu had known that there was not that much here in the front, he could have tried to break through and done some real damage on Brain. Brain is just really one of those players who loves to walk on the edge of the cliff and hopefully not fall off. Let me just reduce the music sound a little bit like this. So the raids are spread out all across the place. This lets him intercept shuttles as they come through from this choke point, and they will very soon. He's got pretty much every single area covered except this top section, but shuttles very rarely fly over this section, and they very rarely fly over this section. They usually just go straight towards the middle or towards the sides. The shortest paths you can take. This has not yet been detected, otherwise Brain would kill this with some raids, so this might build some cannons here on the bottom right. He's now killing his choke point, actually. to enter the middle and maybe place some mines, or maybe he did find this after all. He was going to try to kill this. Bottom line, he's going to place some mines. Shuttles there getting hunted down there by the raids. He's arriving at the Arbiter. He's going to land on top of those cannons, and now the shuttles are protected. And he actually didn't... I don't think he killed one of them. No. There's 2 shuttles on low HP. So he didn't kill anything. Yeah, Leebokgu could go in right now and get a pretty successful drop-off. But he just doesn't know... He just doesn't know that Brain has very, very little anti-air in position to defend. He has 4 factors now. He really invested a lot into those raids to hit the shuttles out of the sky with some very easy volleys. He has one group there on the side and another group on the other side of the base. Goes in over possibly the worst location, but he's unloading almost everything. The ones with the Templars, though, did die, but the Zealots could do some minor damage. He's disrupting the economy. You know what? He's achieving some small little things here. Nothing too big, nothing too great. But he's achieved some small little things. The upgrades are currently on the 0-0. Maybe when he gets level 1-1 on the tanks, he might try to move out. Maybe he's going to wait for level 2-2 on the tanks before moving out. Except at this moment in time, moving out is going to be difficult. Like, he does have an army, but it only has 4 factories. With 4 factories, you can probably not keep up with a 12 gateway production, although it's more like 11 at this point. Attacks through the front, tries to break through, shell in the front, on the top, tries to get a recall off on a mind control SCV, but there's no SCVs to mind control here on the top side. It's getting stasis now. His upgrades are currently on level 011, excuse me, 001. Almost on 111. He's getting armor and shield at the same time. Also getting his air upgrades. And Brain just finished level 1 attack. Brain is sieging up in the front. He's expecting a drop to be coming in. Raids are hunting for the shuttles, but the shuttles have already left. He scans to see where they are. Cannot quite find them. Actually, he finds... Goes for the frontal attack, flies in over the right side, starts splitting up, goes for the mind-controlled SCV, gets the mind-controlled SCV towards the middle, starts bowling that command. He managed to do it. Beautiful attempt. And yeah, looks like Brain was expecting the SCV to be recalled back home, but it's actually on the middle, where it is kind of exposed. He scans the middle, he knows it's there, picks it up, they're into the shuttle, tries to kill. The SCV is very low HP. Look at this. All it takes is one shot and it will die. He starts building some command centers to try and get it. He's going to try to kill the raids with the storms, but they are just too nimble to keep flying back and forth. We're seeing some Oh, did he get it? I think he got the SCV. Nope. He didn't get the SCV. It's there at the bottom. He's trying to radiate it, but he just can't find it. He scans the middle yet again, finds it, picks it up. This is like a game of cat and mouse. Find the SCV. Find the SCV. The raids have died. The raids have died. He's trying to use the vessel to radiate it. He keeps scanning, but every time a scan comes down, he drops it. This is kind of funny because he's just trying to build 3 separate command centers at the same time. Every time it gets scanned, he relocates it to another one and builds there. It's smart. It's smart, but this is giving Brain a lot of time to build up. Scans the middle again, sees where it is. He's hunting with the vessel for the radiate. He picks it up. Yeah, it's going to be difficult to get the radiate down on that SCV. He has to use the scan, goes in with the vessel, picks it up just on time, cannot get the radiate, beautifully done. At this point, they're just playing with each other. It's really interesting to watch because I've never seen something like this before. But this is quite an interesting spectacle. Like, they're not really fighting, they're dancing. Tries to go in yet again, relocates it, almost finished one at the bottom, 2 in the top, still under production. Flies all the way around, tanks in the front, they're moving out. At this point, as Brain, you should just move out. Just move out and try to get a shot on the SV with a tank or something. Have to pick it up. It's within range. It's within range of the Goliath, but can't quite get a shot off. If only he knew it only has 12 HP. All it takes is one single shot. Goes in, kills it. He got it. Leebokgu made a mistake. Leebokgu made a mistake. Now he's gonna have to try again. All that work, all that effort, eventually turned out to be for nothing. But he has another Dark Archon. He can try again. But the progress on the command centers is done for. The upgrades are currently on 1-1-2. 2-3 are on the way. Tanks are on 1-2. So it's moving out with 1-2. It's moving out with 1-2. Pretty good move forward there. Very late scan there from Brain. Gets a couple swarms off on those tanks. Gonna kill the front section of the tanks right there. Great move there from Leebokgu. Brain is now on 8 refineries. Gonna have to get the bottom 2 on the sides as well. He only has 2 armories. Something that I don't usually see Brain do. Usually gets like 4 of them for all the upgrades all at once. But it looks like he's switching away from air completely. The time of the Wraith is over, it seems. He's really going for Goliaths and tanks. Starts unloading a couple of... Oh, gets it yet again. Oh, it's low HP. He's on 20. But he gets it. He gets it. He's got a radiate. He's got a radiate. This time around, the SCV is much more exposed than before, though. You're still playing this game of cat and mouse. He scans. Command center is finished, which is important. Now, please lift it up and send it back home. Or is Brain not yet gonna move out? Like, while all this was happening, all that Leebokgu has been doing is dancing around with his SCV and his shuttles and maybe sending on some attacks to buy himself some time to get another Dark Archon mind control on an SCV, sending the command center back home. He's now got 2 SCVs, one on the top, one somewhere here in the middle. And Brain now has, I'd say about, that's 12 factories, getting a bunch more. Yeah, he should be moving out, and he is moving out, just a little bit slowly. Large force of units are on the middle there from Leebokgu. Reavers and Zealots in the mix. Templar in the back, ready to storm. More Reavers there, ready to hit those Scarabs on the tanks as the Zealots go in. Goes in with the Arbiter. Doesn't have a stasis, actually. Goes in. Oh, nope. Going a little bit too far. Tanks unloading. Reavers unloading. Reavers shooting. Great Scarab shots. No target firing on the Reavers. Reaver dies. I don't think that did enough damage there to really slow Brain's push down. Because, in my opinion... Oh, you know what? I'm wrong. He did build like 12 gateways there on the side, so he got 19 gateways at the moment. Almost no Stargates there, though, so he cannot switch into carriers at all. He's really just relying on his ability to maybe get his own factories and tanks operational. Great stasis, great storms, but not great enough. One more storm there on the front section. Gets a couple more kills. That's a good one. One more Templar in the back. That's one is empty. Reaver there in the front is ready to shoot as anything gets close. Cells are getting on top of the tanks because there's not enough damage. Too many tanks are stuck in stasis, so not enough damage comes out there from Brain. Brain is struggling a little bit with his gas. His gas is quite low. Not sure why. Maybe he didn't really fill out all of his refineries properly. He's got a lot of minerals, very little gas. Tanks on the high ground there. Leebokgu is breaking through. This is getting a little bit dicey. Like, the further away Brain is from pushing through the middle, the worse his chances of winning become. Because we have a factory somewhere on the map. I'm gonna look after this fight here on the middle is over. More tanks on the high ground. Reaver is absolutely destroying the tanks. Brain is in real trouble here. This looks really bad. He's building Wraiths as a last line of defense. He now has 4 armories. The tanks on 1-2, almost on 2-3. This is looking terrible. Now taking down supply depots. He's losing supply space. Leebokgu has managed to somewhat catch Brain in a bad position there in the choke point with a great stasis, then a couple of great storms, using the cloak on the Arbiter to get those Templars within range for some awesome storms. Factories are... He's got the... Where is it? He's got one machine shop. Does he have a machine shop on the middle? No. Machine shop on the top? No. The supply depot's on the top. Command center is right over there. He needs a little bit more gas. His gas is low, but he built a new Nexus. So you can build more assimilators right there and put SCVs to work to mine gas. Getting a couple more Stargates. He's really finally adding on additional buildings to his base. We got a huge drop of tanks and vessels going in to try and do some really big damage on the economy. Or just, oh, he's unloading on the high ground. to make sure that these factories can never produce a tank in their life, because they should be within range, or maybe they are not. I'm not sure what the range is on those tanks. Actually, only one of them unloaded there. There's largely Goliaths in there, almost no tanks. Comes back home with Storms and Arbiters to take care of the tanks on the high ground. First tank for Leebokgu is on the map. Siege mode almost finished up. Getting machine up number 2. Right now moving into the middle as all of Leebokgu's units have retreated back home. Smart move. Pull his units away from the middle and then push through the middle, as the middle is suddenly an open hunting field for Brain. Wide in the open. Raids are coming across the map to try and snipe some shuttles, or maybe snipe that Arbiter. There's detection in the front of one single cannon. A lot of Dragoons there ready to take down the raids. The Arbiter survives on one single hit remaining. Tanks at the high ground there are being a pain in the ass. Killed the tank in the front. But the great stasis there. He has tanks on the way. Siege mode is finished up. Looks like Brain has to go into overdrive to still win this game, because at this point the game has become really, really difficult to win. Proxy base being built. Build a command center over there. These are going to have to get cancelled at some point. This one is not really producing anything. His gas is really, really low. You can see that Leebokgu is kind of struggling to multitask on the same level as Brain. Leebokgu has to get additional gas. Leebokgu has to get additional gas. But he also has to build units and fight with those units while also building a Terran base. He's effectively forced to build a Terran base while attacking and defending at the same time. Playing a second race against a player who is technically better than you are is pretty damn difficult. And I really think he messed around too much with the SCVs on the middle. He messed around too much. Tanks though are sieged up. He's getting into that base. Carriers in the sky are helping him out. 3 more carriers on the way. Zealots in the back there, finishing up. The supply counts are about the same. He really killed too many of his probes. I think he killed too many of his probes. He killed too many of his probes. And his gas income is really just too low. His gas income is too low. He needs gas units. Desperately needs gas units. Because these tanks on the high ground, protected by Goliaths, are going to be difficult to kill with carriers. And you can't kill them with zealots. Proxy base there is really building there. Slowly building up. Slowly building tanks there on the side. He's got 5 of them now. 4 more on the way. 2 currently in production. Carrying them before they're on the side. 1 carrier, 1 down. Wait, no carriers, 1 down. But one of them is on very low HP. Will be very easy to kill. He keeps pushing forward. He's gonna try to secure the entire left side of Leebokgu's base by sitting on the high ground and ignoring this right section, because the right section is difficult to break through with his tanks on the high ground and the tanks on the low ground. He has 2 armories, but no upgrades on the way there yet. You can see that Leebokgu is really struggling to progress his Terran technology and also progress his economy. His economy is just not progressing. And he might find out about this supply depot base here on the top middle at some point. But right now, Brain is taking over. We need more carriers on the map. Very quick, very soon. We need them now. He does have level 2 attack, level 3 shield, and level 1 armor there on the air. And the ground is on 333 as well. But Brain has 2-3 on the ground, and level 3 armor is very soon finishing up. He does have way too many dropships though. But he did kill a lot of his own SCVs to open up supply space to go for a huge big drop there on the economy. Starts in low, but honestly there's a lot of cannons there. A lot of cannons. This might not... Maybe it will not. Nah, this is not going to work out as he had in mind. He does kill some probes though. He kills some probes, but the economy is... I'd say the economy is in a pretty bad spot for Leebokgu here, actually. He desperately needs more workers. And he did find out about this proxy base, so these command centers are not going to be used to produce SCVs to supplement his economy. Leebokgu is in actually a pretty bad spot. Like, he does have more supply, he does have tanks, he does have carriers in the sky, but his odds are getting worse by the second. Brain, though, lost like 100 supply just earlier with those dropships and units unloading on top of cannons, on top of storms. Didn't go too well, but his position is better than ever before. Even though Leebokgu has tanks in his base that belong to him. He's lost effectively 12 gateways, lost his robos, lost his frontal section, losing his supply depots. So he can no longer produce any of those tanks. These are the tanks he has right now, and that's it. No extra tanks in production, now or anytime in the near future. Tanks to the high ground, getting taken down, because he's alone there on the other low ground. Carrier's coming down there, though. Carrier's coming down to take down those tanks. They will have to retreat right now. Goliaths are coming in to try and protect them, but it's only 2-3 Goliaths. That's not going to work out too well. He has to find an opening to siege up right there and take down the cyber core, the forges, the fleet beacon, everything on the top corner. The technology has to go. And he does go in there with only a few tanks. It's only 4 tanks, 5 tanks. You know what? Those 5 tanks are going to do a great job. He escaped with the SCVs there, though. They're building supply depots, but he only has 36 probes. He does not have enough probes. It's only 35. He needs more probes. He needs more economy. He really needs more economy. Because if anything goes wrong at any point in time for Leebokgu here, he will lose the game. So Brain is completely taking over control in every single way. Goes in with a drop there, starts a loading. Will there be a tank in there? Yes, there will be, but it's way too far away to hit the probes. But another one on the top there. Oh, wait. Is he gets, wow. Okay, that was way beyond my expectations. He sent a drop from the bottom and one from the top. One from the top was meant to force the probes to run to the bottom, where a tank survived for way too long and killed 10 probes. Now he only has 25 probes. His economy is in terrible shape. He has to make new probes. Why are you not making new probes? You're driving me insane right here, Leebokgu. You're driving me nuts, alright? I'm losing my mind, but we do have over 12 carriers going for a counterattack. EMP comes in, hits a couple of them. Only a couple of them, like not a lot, but hits a couple of them. Goes into brain space. There's almost nothing here to defend. Almost nothing here back at home to defend. He made dropships, not raids. No Valkyries. Leebokgu can end the game here. Leebokgu can end the game by just killing everything here in the back, and Brain will run out of money very soon. Both players are now in terrible shape. He's target firing the command centers. He's storming the SCVs, killing only 2, but he's got one more storm left in the tank, but he dodges the storm. No, he hits the storm really hard. Only 25. They are on equal worker counts. But Brain, at the moment, has the inferior fighting force. We got tanks on the top side there, landing inside of Leebokgu's base, ready to kill some stuff. He has 10% loading on top of those tanks, storming them, hits a double storm. No, it's a single storm. He needs one more storm there on the tanks. He's going to pick up units from the top, from the high ground, load them on the low ground. Both players are now in terrible shape. Both players are now racing to save their lives by ending the enemy as fast as they can. But with the large carrier fleet in the sky, Leebokgu currently has better odds. But he has no detection against the raids, and raids are in production. Raids can maybe end these carriers sometime soon. Also, he's building new tanks because he sneakily built new supply depots. So he's getting more tanks as time goes on. Zealots are on the scene, ready to prevent the unload. This game now suddenly flips to be in favor of Brain. Brain's dropship plays were beautiful to behold, but perhaps the dropship plays were too heavy in supplies. So every time these dropship plays die, he has like 60 to 70 supply to replace, which does give Leebokgu a large window of time to just counterattack. And he did. He counterattacked in one of those windows before Brain replenished his army size, basically, and it's a risky game they're playing. He finds his supply depots. He's going to kill the SCVs. They're on the run. There's no more command center inside of Leebokgu's base. So when he loses these SCVs, he's not losing them. He's going for a counterattack with the Zealots just running right on in there. The middle is wide open because we have another big dropship play there coming out from Brain, from the bottom and from the top. He's going to try from 2 directions. Gets a stasis on the raids. Drops on the top are maybe fake. Ones on the bottom are the real ones. Gets in there, but he's within range of the tanks. Got an auto there on the scene as well. He's within the base with the Zealots, killing whatever he can. Everything in the base has pretty much died. Things are going really, really bad here for Brain all of a sudden. Leebokgu, with almost no economy, is pulling out the win after all, with both players just gambling, kind of. Both players just gambled, and it looks like Brain might have gambled his chances of winning away. He is killing the supply depots though. We do have a large number of tanks. Is he going to go for a recall of tanks into Brain's base? If he gets a recall right here, he's going to end the game. It's going to be a recall of tanks inside of Brain's base. He's getting very close there to the SCVs, almost carriers and tanks. It's over. It's over. It's so over. This is the end. There's nothing that Brain can do to stop this. This is invincible. This is impossible to kill. This is a game over. This is a game over. Tanks. He's gonna have to go for a counterattack, but he doesn't have enough for a counterattack. He's got 4 SCVs. These 4. Make it 3. Make it 2. Make it maybe 1. Make it maybe 0. He's gonna kill all the command centers there. He's got 485 minerals. The raids are killing the carriers there, though. Drop comes in, they're on the top corner, but Zealots are coming in to try and stop this, and they do get on top of the tank. The tanks will die very rapidly. Storm comes in as well, and GG. Brain loses the game, and Leebokgu comes out with the victory after a very weird sequence of events that was not hard to track, but hard to predict. Both players kind of had this short moment in time where they just played around with some SCVs and mind controls and trying to kill the SCV with whatever he could. Radiates, raids, scans, tanks. He tried with everything he had. And then he had a really cool move with dropships on the high grounds, making life very difficult for Leebokgu. And then Leebokgu almost sabotaged his own chances of winning by just having no economy. But then he had a really good carrier attack, including a drop onto Brain, not properly defending himself against counterattacks and drops, and Brain just seemed to deflate after losing SCVs and losing the command center. The carriers on the map were too strong, and the fact that he had tanks in the front right here protecting his choke section just made entering through the front really difficult. He had to go for the sides, and going for the sides just didn't seem to work out in the end. It almost worked. It almost did. Hear me out. It almost worked. But Leebokgu managed to get out on top with a win. And that was a very enjoyable game. I hope you enjoyed the game as well, and I will be back very, very soon.